एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरख निर्भौ निर्वैर अकाल मूरत अजूनी सैभं गुर प्रसाद जप आद सच जुगाद सच है भी सच नानक होसी भी सच वाहेगुरु 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 तिन बेदियन की कुल बिखें प्रगटे नानक राय सब सिखन को सुख दहें जेते भय सहाय सब सिखन को सुख दहें जेते भय सहाय वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह. All right, last week so what we've done over the last 10 weeks, yeah, is these 4 ceremonies: birth, education, Amrit Sanchar and Anaconda. Yeah. So in between these ceremonies, many gaps of Sikh or aspects of it have been missed out. Yeah. Now the Vidya Sanskar or the education, that's the most important because that's lifelong learning. So you carry on learning, regardless. Now the whole point of the course, or even the Rehat Maryada, is pursuit of mukti or salvation, and gyan, which is divine wisdom, self-realization, which is apa janana, yeah, realizing who you are. Yeah. Now the thing is, even if you get Jivan Mukti, which is the aim, yeah, you still have this education ongoing throughout that. So you can still carry on learning, even if you're a Brahmgyani, because God is such that He's beyond, so He's limitless. So even if someone gets to God, and even if they're an avatar, they can still not fathom the expanse of God's entirety. And so they still carry on learning as well. And then on top of that, if someone does get Brahmgyan or Jivan Mukti as well, whatever you want to call it, they still practice their Sikhi in terms of doing their Nitnem and Nam Japana, because as far as they're concerned, it's like killing a snake. Yeah. So once you kill a snake, sometimes you might still give it a few dande afterwards and carry on hitting it just in case it gets back up. And in the same way, those people who get Jivan Mukti, they still carry on doing things like this, doing Nitnem or reading Granths and stuff, just in case that their man gets bigger still. Yeah. So Nome Pasha Shabbi Sal in a Pura, and yet he still did the Pankti saying Mai Mero Man Basanahi, which means basically my mind isn't still in my grasp. So Nome Pasha said that. Now we're not saying Nome Pasha actually was at that level where he didn't, but he's teaching us that after doing all that Pankti, you still have to keep aware of your mind regardless. And there is Sakya, also people who are sort of Gyanvan still slipping up. So you got Ram, the avatar, crying after his wife. Yeah. Tikya. So what has the course missed out? Infinite amount of information. Yeah. We do not know. Yeah. This is just a snapshot within an aspect of Rehat. Now, I needed to do this because last week we didn't cover this. Plus, us being human beings and being sinners, we like to find little loopholes in everything. Yeah. So the Bajjar Kreta, the Char Bajjar Kreta, yeah, like the 4 cardinal sins we covered in the course, yeah, there is other path that you can do, which would still mean that the Panj Pyare will still give you Amrit as well. So there's other things which we call Ag Paap. Ag is like something severe, yeah. So those, this is just an example. There could be other things as well, yeah. So raping someone, sexual abuse, murder. Yeah, and that's killing someone for not anything for any dharma yudh, but just basically killing someone because you fell out over your house or something, or your kid, or whatever it may be, or he stole your car, I don't know, yeah, or he stole your lunch money, yeah, these things happen nowadays, yeah. Swearing oath on a gotka, something I've done and then lied, yeah, so then you'd have to take Amrit and go pesh to the Panj Pyare, yeah. Committing a sin repeatedly, so if you do something which is wrong, you can do it once unknowingly, yeah, but then if you keep on doing that path, it then becomes a Bajjar Prap, so then it becomes like a black mark on you because you've repeatedly done it. Yeah? So certain things are not necessarily Bajjar Prap, but by our commitment of them, by repeatedly doing them, they become that. Now I don't want to go into those, yeah, because there is examples I can give, etc, etc. So there is other things, yeah, but the point is to dispel doubts by going pesh to the Panj Pyare. So if you got a doubt, go pesh. That's our duty and our function to make sure from Guru Sahib. And then what we do sometimes, we'll ring round people who lag in Sevas Panj Pyare and try checking it out, or we'll ask other people, or then we'll try find out which Panj Pyare a bit delay, don't give you exact punishment. Yeah? The whole point of going pesh is actually being honest and open and saying this is what I've done and this is what's gone on to get your maafi. Yeah, it's not about trying to find a loophole again. So this is about that really, because we haven't covered that to an extent. So there is a lot of other stuff as well that we haven't mentioned in the course. Now the death ceremony, yeah. So we had the Anaconda last week. So after you get married, next thing you know, you're dead, Hannah. You don't even realise, yeah. Anyway, sabna marna aya vishora sabnaha, yeah. So everyone's gonna die, yeah, and everyone's gonna suffer from separation. Vishora sabnaha, yeah. All of us will die. Death keeps no calendar. Could strike at any time. So I could turn around and say, I'm 40 years old now. When I'm 65, we're gonna have Khalistan, yeah. Now that might actually happen, but who's to say I'm going to live to 65? Who's to say I'm not going to live? I'm going to fall over now and keel over and die of a heart attack. Yeah, we don't know, Hannah, but we plan ahead. Yeah. So is our life about planning ahead or living in the present? So if you think of it as a small example, yeah, when we do anything in the morning, yeah, you might have 100 thoughts. Some of you do it off your phones. Some of you do it with your earphones while you're playing on your phone. Yeah, some of you listen on your car when you're going to school and you're looking at the road and you're looking at how mad your dad is as a driver. Yeah, you know what I mean, Hannah? So the thing is, are we living in that moment, in the present? And where we need to be present is when we're in the Gurdwara or when we're doing something which is dharmic. And that's the place that we usually suffer in. So we're present in a classroom at school, we pay attention then, we go and play football, yeah? We'll nearly kill each other because that's how much we're concentrating. Yeah? But we need to be present in this, in our Sikhi, and the rest doesn't matter, nothing else matters, but also living in the present in the sense that we're not to dwell on the past and not dwell on the future either, because really nothing's in our hands, so planning ahead doesn't really lead to anything. But if we live every day like it's our last day, then our kalyan is assured, because if you live every day like it's your last day, you won't do any paap because you're scared of dying. Theek hai? So if we keep this death in our mind, then we're going to have to give lick when we die. Then we won't go into that, Hannah. Now, taking Amrit is about practicing the Rehat, Hannah. And you're assured, if you take Amrit and you don't do any of the Bajjar Karatna or in this Bajjar Path that we've mentioned today, yeah, then you will not go to hell, that's assured. And you will get human life immediately. Yeah, it's like a golden ticket. That will be assured. But what you're not assured, yeah, is if you take Amrit, drink Sharab and then die without taking Amrit again or asking for Maafi. So we know of a Singh who took Amrit, drank some Sharab, died, and for 10 years he was born in like lower life forms as ants and things like that, and he remembers it all. Yeah, and then he's now reborn as a Singh, and he says, I can clearly remember all the lives I went through in those 10-12 years. So even then he still came back though as well, because he'd taken Amrit once with the right mindset. Theek hai? Alright, someone dies, yeah. So someone dies, your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother, whoever it is, yeah. Majority human reaction is immediate crying, grief and shock, Hannah. So any house you go to, that's what they'll be doing there, Hannah, the day someone dies, yeah. Now Guru Amar Das, yeah, said this, and this is included in Gurbani, but the Shabd is actually by his grandson, yeah, Baba Sundarji. But anyway, Matne piche koi rov se so main mool na paya, yeah. So Guru Amar Das is saying, this is Guru Amar Das at the time when he's actually going to pass away. So he's saying this before he's going onto the pyre. So Guru Amar Das said, I'm going to now pass away openly, and walked onto the pyre for them to light the fire. And he says this before, saying basically, no one should cry when I pass away. Theek hai? Now that's something for us, yeah. So main mool na paya. Paya means basically you're not accepted by me at all. Mool means even to a root extent, Hannah. That's what it means. Yeah, and they haven't understood what my message was. Theek hai? Now, if we think we go on a train ride, you might go to work, you might go to school, so you get on a train and you go from Warsaw to Birmingham, let's say, yeah, example. Theek hai? You get on the train, yeah, and there's some passengers, someone's listening on the headphones, someone sits next to you, you might speak to someone might call you a Paki, someone might call you a Taliban, yeah, so stuff might go down in that cabin where you are, Hannah. Yeah, you don't say to those people when you're leaving the train, you don't start crying, do you, when you're about to leave the train? Say, no, I don't want to leave, please, no, I want to stay with you. You don't do that, do you? We don't do it. No one does, Hannah. We all think they're mad, Hannah, if someone does that, yeah. But that's the same thing as us in the world, because we believe our family's true. We believe we're here permanently, but we're not. This is the Purana, yeah. That's what Gurbani says, Anna. Sore Vanjana, yeah. Basically, we're going to go to our Sore, Sab Mukalavan Har, which means basically we're all going to go to our Sarakar, which is Parameshwar, which is God, when we die. This is just a little holiday we're on. Yeah. So in the train example, yeah, what it means is we're here for a small amount of time. We're temporary visitors. I'm 40 years old. I can't believe I'm 40. Because I can remember the day he was born. He's 18 years old. Yeah, because your life just goes like that in seconds. Yeah. Now the thing is, we're visitors on that train ride, and all it is, we believe those people in that train cabin with us, our mum, our dad, whoever it is, we believe it's permanent. And then when we try getting separated, we start crying. Yeah. And the other example they give is it's like changing clothes. Yeah, when you die, it's like changing clothes, because you don't actually die. What dies? If we say we die, what dies? This body of 5 elements. But that doesn't die. What dies inside us, it's actually still alive. All that happens is the energy in it just goes into another body, goes into somewhere else. That's all that happens. These 5 elements came up, sprouted up. Yeah, I was 1 kilo heavier last week. I've lost 1 kilo in a week. Yeah, but that's the whole point of the body. It keeps changing. It's not steady. It's going to keep changing, going upwards and downwards, because it's not permanent. The soul is permanent, and that's the energy, and that leaves at the point of death. That's all that happens. So all it's like is changing clothes, going to your wardrobe and changing some clothes. But we take it to be permanent and true. ठीक है? So that's all it is. We're just changing clothes. So there's an example. Someone sent me this book about death, about some Christian, and the person had written, they die, and all their family around the body crying and stuff, and the person's come out of their body because they've died, and they're standing there and they're trying to touch their family members and saying, I'm here. What are you crying for? What's going on? Yeah. So that's how inane it is. When you die, you might see that scene. You might see your family around you. You're like, Maryada, hello, woohoo. Yeah. And they're all crying. You're like, well, what's going on with them? Yeah. So you might not even realise you've died. And that happens as well. And you're like, then you realise like no one can see you. You're walking through bodies and that. But anyway, the Atma is who we really are. That eternal source, and that which never dies. It's never born. Yeah, that's always there permanently. Anyway, ideally, no crying. It's a test of attachment. Yeah, we're all going to get it because we're all going to die. We're all dying from the day we're born. So we say 15 years old. Yeah, your body is 15 years old in its current creation. But really your body is eternal as well, because Maya or matter, we don't know how long it's been here for. Yeah, that it's created from. But anyway, no crying, test of attachment. Can you go, Hannah, and actually believe what the reality is? And all of us get affected by it, Hannah, including me, Hannah. And it also affects the deceased. That's the worst thing about crying, because the deceased is then asked in the afterworld why they're crying. What have you done when you were there? Yeah. So, and it does, and then also if they've passed away and they're in the next sort of dimension, let's say, and they're trying to get ahead, your pangs of separation get to them, to the extent that some people want to get reborn again within that family then. So it does carry. So if you think about your family attachments now, that's Janam Janmantar, that's been through loads of lives. It's not just happened now by accident. Yeah. So the thing is, you should just have a clean break. So we even say now as well to a lot of Gurdwaras, don't do an Akhand Paath every year. Knock it on the head. Do one year, and that's it. After that, don't do it again, because it becomes then it's an attachment thing every year, and you're dragging that person back as well through that attachment. So it's better just to have closure. It's not to be horrible, Hannah, but it's just to have closure. Anyway, ideally, again, this is the ideal scenario. Someone passes away, immediately, yeah, start reading Paath. Yeah, start reading Gurbani, and immediately get a Sehaj Paath started in the house. So if someone passes away, we've had families do this, yeah, Gurmukh Parivars, where what they've done is, the person's passed away, they didn't phone anyone, they didn't tell anyone, they went to the Gurdwara, got Maryada Swaroop, started the Sehaj Paath in the front living room, so where everyone's going to walk through, and then told people. So when people are going to come and try being stupid, the Paath's going, how are they going to cry in that room? They can't. Yeah, so there's ways of handling it, yeah, but this is ideal, Hannah. And then the Bhog of that Sehaj Paath should be done on the 10th day after the death. Ideally, again, the cremation should be done immediately, as soon as the person passes away. In the UK, we cannot do that. It's not physically possible, yeah, unless you just do it illegally, yeah, which then you're going to have an investigation afterwards, but you can't do it, yeah, because once you tell the morgue or whoever, then they'll see cause of death and all that malarkey, yeah, and sometimes it can take months, sometimes it's an investigation, but if not, within the next 10 days you'll probably get the sanskar done, the funeral. But in India, immediately they do the sanskar. At the most, they keep the body for a day or two now because they've got fridges and stuff, but really, in India, the way is you do it that day or the next day, by the next morning, within 24 hours. So you can do a cremation. You can immerse the body also in flowing water. It should be flowing, yes. So I've been to the Ganges in India and Hardwar, where they've had dead bodies, and I've sat in the water next to dead bodies, basically, yeah. And there's like hands coming up and stuff, so what they do there is they put the body in a border, yeah, and they then tie rocks to it and just put it into the cart there. So it's just like a bed of the riverbed, so it's not really flowing the water, and then they just dump the body there. And what happens after a few days? The bag breaks free and the body's like there in the water. You're like, hello mate, how you doing? Yeah. So that happens, and I've been there and I've seen it, but really it needs to be flowing water at the point where you immerse the body into a river, because then it goes with the flow of the water, and it's a good thing to do. It's better than doing the cremation, because then the body is used in terms of the wildlife or the sea life might eat it, the body, so it gets used up rather than just get burnt, that is accepted in Gurmat, so you can do that. It is allowed, yeah. On the day of the cremation, you're supposed to bathe the body, so do the ishnan. Now in the UK, a major fashion has started now to do the ishnan the night before, because the family can't be bothered, yeah, to wake up in the morning and do the ishnan on the day of the sanskar. So loads of people I know now, yeah, just do the ishnan the day before, and it's partly because the funeral directors sometimes won't be good and stuff like that, so they're not too thingy, but then even the apne funeral directors, they won't really push for it because they're getting paid in it, so they don't really say to the family in terms of Maryada. You should put completely new clothes on the person, yeah, complete new dress, and 2 kashere. Now this might sound weird, yeah, but what they say in the Rehat Maryada, this is the Taksan one, is you tie a kamar kasa and you put 1 extra kashera in the kamar kasa, yeah. Now the reason for that is, in the past, the Sikhs who were tiyar bar tiyar, they always used to carry an extra kashera in the kamar kasa, because they didn't know where they were going to sleep, where they were going to end up, but they've got a kashera and they can do ishnan. So they live life like that. So it's just about tiyar bar tiyar. That's what it's for. It's nothing for anything else. Yeah, it's just to say the person's going tiyar bar tiyar with their bana and everything else on. So that's why the 2 kashera. You don't have to do it if you don't want to, because you're going to burn it anyway. But ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਮੁੱਲ ਕੀ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਜੇ 2 kashera ਬਣ ਵੀ ਦਿੱਤੇ, you know what I mean? Anyway, Japji Sahib, whilst making the pyre, now you're not going to make the pyre in the UK, yeah, you're going to put them into a oven, whatever it is, and it's just going to burn in seconds, but in India, you actually have to get the wood, yeah, and while you make it, you're supposed to do Japji Sahib the part, yeah, well, you're supposed to do Japji Sahib really before the cremation, so they do a Japji Sahib the part, and then they light the pyre. That's what they do in India, ठीक है, and then Kirtan Soila when half the pyre is burnt. In the UK, what we do majority of the time is go to the crematorium and we do the soila before, because as soon as you put the person into the kiln, it's done in seconds. Now in Leeds, yeah, they've started, they've got that over there, what they've started doing is they've started doing the soila afterwards at the kiln, or after it's actually done the sanskar. Now in the UK, I'd probably say it's better if you do it before, because once you press the button and it's gone, it's going to be blossom anyway. You can't maintain the Maryada for doing it when it's half burnt, or you know what I mean. It's not possible here, Anyway, final rites, after that, daily katha if possible, if you can get a Siyana katha watch, and if you're going to listen to the katha, if not, don't do it, yeah. Of Jayat Sri Diwar and or Sahaskriti sloks, both those basically go through the process of life, yeah, from life to death, of what you're supposed to do. So what they do is, if you do katha of that, it will help the family in the mourning process. Yeah, I've done Jayat Sri Diwar the katha ages ago, years ago. It's on the Akal Publishers SoundCloud, so you can listen to English on there. Sahaskriti sloks and Jayat Sri Diwar. I think Sant Kartar Singh's done Sahaskriti, and so is Bhai Pinder Pal's done both. So you can get the Punjabi katha as well. So if you can't get a katha watch, it might be useful just to listen to it from all those katha watchers. But if not, you're supposed to still do parts of these before the cremation, if you can. Yeah. But anyway, collect the ashes and disperse, preferably at Kirtpur Sahib or Govindwal Sahib. So Kirtpur Sahib and Govindwal Sahib, because Guru Sahib's ashes were put there, so it's seen as pavitr. Can, although, disperse in any river or stream in the world, should you wish to. So he's just got to be in flowing water. Can't be a canal, which is still or dormant water, Anna. It's got to be a flowing water, so it's river or stream. You can, Anna. Now, this was really obscure. The SGPC Raagmala says it's manmat to take the ashes to Gurdwara Sahib. They actually write that in their Raagmala. It says it's manmat. Now, Guru Sahib's sanskars were done there. Guru Sahib's ashes were immersed there. They've written in their Raagmala that it's manmat to take it to Gurdwara Sahib. They manage the Gurdwara. They're the ones who allow it to happen. They're the ones you go to after doing the immersion of the ashes to write in the book. So it's like, jata na karao fe, hana? So it's like best of both worlds. So they're saying it's manamat to go there to do it. And I don't know what the manamat is because Guru Sahib was done there. So we just see it's pavitr. And I'm more than doing it in the River Thames or somewhere. That's all it is. Yeah. So it's just, the person just thinks they've done a send off and that's all it means. Now some of the Raatmani out there, a lot of the Pratan Raatmani say don't go to the Ganga. Don't go to Hardwar. So Ganga is seen as pavitr in the Hindu Dharma. We don't say it's a pavitr. We say it's pavitr in Gurbani as well. But what it is to break us from those practices of Hinduism. So that is basically, it's better if you go to the Sikh ones, Anna. That's all it is. Because Guru Sahib's Mahan. So a lot of the Raatmani, the Pratan ones say don't go there. Yeah. The SGPC, again, this gets really obscure in Plasana. They say you can bury the ashes as well. Now, I've never seen that anywhere before. So I was quite shocked again. So they're saying bury the ashes into the ground. But then they say don't build a memorial at that spot. Now, you know Punjabis, yeah, we've all got mats in our pen and whatever, yeah. I think pata nahi jathere kitho pujan lagi hoye, yeah. So if you telling me, yeah, if I went to my pen in India or whatever, went to my family, yeah, and I said, oh, I'm going to get my dad's ash, I'm going to put him in the beera there, Hannah. Within 2 weeks, they'd have a mat there, they say he's haunting us, he's doing this, or, yeah. So it's like, I don't see the point of why you would bury him. Because you put them in a flowing water in a river, they're gone, aren't they? But once you've buried them, you're like, Dad's there, I'm walking over him now. You know what I mean? So it just didn't make sense of why you would say do that. Yeah? Now it doesn't mean like Bhai Mardana's was done like that. Yeah, Bhai Mardana's actually in Iran, Hannah. So Guru Nanak kept him there, Hannah. But the thing is, not for us as Sikhs now, Hannah. But anyway, Boga Sehaj Paath or Akhand Paath on the 10th day after the person's deceased. So if you can't do Akhand Paath, the 10th day, the reason this 10th day business is all there is because we believe by the 10th day, the person's going to move on completely. Yeah, so they're gone. Yeah, that doesn't mean where they are or whatever, Hannah, but they're basically, their career is done. So in Hindu Dharma, they say 13वीं 17वीं day mana, Hannah. But we say, because of Khalsa Supreme, we do it in 10 days. ठीक है? Plus it gives you a bit of time to mourn and whatever and listen to the part properly as well. Yeah. Many on the actual day of the sanskar, yeah, will do a Lani on the part as well. Yeah, but you must read Raamkali Sad. So that was where that pankti was from at the start, yeah. So मैं मूल ना पाया ना, जो मैं पिछे रोव सी है ना. But the thing is, Raamkali Sad after the Bhog, you have to read that. Raamkali Sad is about death. It's only like 2 angin Guru Granth Sahib, but you have to read that. So on the Sehaj Paath Bhog, sometimes they won't read Anand Sahib. They'll read Raamkali Sad, yeah. But then Bhog, 40 pauri Anand Sahib for Degh, है ना. Now, Akhand Paath, we usually, generally now in the UK, will read 40 pauri anyway, है ना. But for the Sehaj Paath as well, you should do 40 pauri at the Degh if you can't do it openly, है ना. And nothing else is really required in terms of Gurmat, unless I've missed something, है ना, from what I can recall. ठीक है? So that's the death ceremony done at that point. So we've all died and gone to Sachkhand and don't know when we're coming back. ठीक है? Alright. So now we're going to go on to the next few parts, which is respecting Gurbani, and we're going to finish, to be fair. It's going to be quite small this session. So this is about Satkara Gurbani. Yeah, so Bani, Guru, Guru hai Bani vich Bani, Amrit Sanchar. So the Guru is the Bani. Yeah. Gurbani kahe sevak jan manne pratak Guru nistare. Yeah. The sevaks, the Sikhs, yeah, the Sevadar, they believe in Gurbani, yeah. Pratak Guru nistare, and the Guru then becomes pratak to them in their lives if they obey what he's telling us to do, Hannah. So that's what happens, yeah. Jin pe adab bani tara jahno so sikh nahi hamara. That person who doesn't respect Gurbani, this is Suraj Prakash, yeah. Guru Sahib saying that person not a Sikh of mine, yeah. So there's levels of satkar, yeah, levels of minimum satkar, yeah. I'm not going to say the Gurdwara, I went to a Gurdwara in India, and one of the Sevadars there, who does seva every day, and it's one of the most Mahan sthans we've got in the world, yeah. He was doing part from a Gotka, and he's holding his foot, yeah. And I did a shout out to him like, don't hold your foot, yeah. And he just gave me a dirty look. He's a Siana Bajurg, yeah. After he finishes his nitnem, he came over to me. He goes, what were you saying to me? He goes, ki kehna singa agar tusi pair nu hath laya singa udhar ek passe gotka faraya. Yeah? And he goes, oh, and walked off. Like nothing. Yeah? So that's like, and we have parties on a Akhand Paath roll, Sehaj Paath roll, they have a habit of holding their foot. I don't know what it is with this foot business, yeah? Yeah, holding the foot when they're doing a Akhand Paath roll in a chankra, they're actually holding the foot. Yeah, yeah. And I've caught parties doing it, so we keep like a really sharp eye on them. One of the parties denied he was doing it, Hannah, and then he got a bit scared because he said like we're gonna bat you basically, Hannah. Then he started telling us how Baba Nihal Singh and then beat him up and tied him to the back of a truck in it because he was basically drinking sharab as a Granth, and they battered him. But the thing is, this is the sort of stuff that people do day in day out. Yeah, that's just completely off the scale. This is minimum satkarana for Gurbani. So wash your hands thoroughly before using a Gotka Sahib. Yeah, that means thoroughly. Yeah. So the taksal is with the sucham. If you go bathroom and you go for a number 2, 5 times wash your hands. That's with sabban, 5 times separately. Yeah. And normally 3 times. And you got to man the tutti minimum 3 times before using it as well. Yeah. So your tuttiyan should be shining. Yeah. Now you might all laugh and giggle and think, "Whoa, that's a bit extreme." But if it's for Bani, then you got to do Hannah. And plus the Mahapurk as well, they said certain things on purpose because they know what the sayings are like. And if you say 5 times or 3, they might at least do it properly twice, Hannah. Yeah. But anyway, electronic devices, Hannah, this is a big problem for us now. If you're using it for Gurbani, carry wipes around with you. What's the problem? Why can't you carry wipes? We do everything else, Hannah. So just pull out a wipe and wipe it down and clean your hands at the same time before using it for Gurbani. Sometimes like you can't do that, but it shouldn't become a habit. So some people do the nitnem off their phone all the time, which they shouldn't really be doing. Get a Gotka, Hannah. Yeah. So we should always go back to the source, which is the Gotka Sahib and Pothiya. But minimum, Hannah, this is like wipe the device down. You go to the toilet, eat your food, the phone, the hot laid on there, and then everything else, Hannah, and then you go Gurbani on it. Anyway, do not touch the floor when you got a Gotka Sahib in your hand. Feet or your face when reading Gurbani. Your face is always seen as jutta because your mouth's on there and you got spit coming out your mouth all the time. Yeah. Now some people will cover their face when they sit on a roll or even read part at all. Some people ridicule that, and the people who ridicule that, yeah, what I'd say to them is, if I come and spat in your face, yeah, would you like that? Is that such a? So if someone's trying to be a bit more extreme and not spit on the sroop, yeah, I've done a Akhand Paath roll, I've done part. I'm not going to lie. Sometimes you see a dot of saliva. There's no one else there, is there? So it's good to do those things. I don't do them all the time myself. I do it sometimes as well, Hannah. So we shouldn't ridicule people for doing more satkar. Yeah, but that's what our Qawm's got into now, ridiculing, saying these people are jokers, Hannah. But anyway, yeah. Use a hajuriya at all times when reading Gurbani to aid sucham. Now the reason you use a hajuriya is you can use that when you need to touch the floor and whatever. Now you might turn around and say, well, isn't that then jutta? You can't keep sucham. So all that is as an assistance, yeah. So your hands don't touch it directly, anything, yeah. So the hajuriya is always seen as sucha, but not if you like really getting dirty, Hannah. Cover your head at all times when you're reciting Gurbani or doing Simran, Hannah. So that's all the time. So I give Santya, yeah. One of the girls was teaching Santya. She sat there like with her head nanga on the sky. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? And she's going to start the lesson and she goes, oh, I forgot. So if you wash your hair, yeah, you know, like your weekly bath or Friday, whatever it is, yeah. If you wash your hair, yeah, you can still put a keski over it or tie a patka or whatever and let the case dry. So when you're doing part or simran, you should still cover your head. And it doesn't matter if it gets wet, you can get another one. You know what, buy a few, yeah. Invest in some. Theek ya? And now this thing, the hajuriya thing, I don't know if I've covered it here. Yeah, I'll do it here. Now Maharaj di seva, so this is actually Guru Granth Sahib di seva. Yeah, you need to do full kesi ishnan before going to the tabbiya. Yeah, or even doing Char Sahib. You need to have done that before going. Yeah, so that means you can't have gone to number 2 beforehand. In India, majority of places, if you've even been for a week, they won't allow you to go to the tabbiya. So as times I do seva in India, if the party will not go for a week if he's done his ishnan. He just won't. And if he does, what I'll do is he take his whole chawal off and everything, yeah, and then go for and then wash all his legs and everything before coming back. Yeah, so there's a whole process they'll go through. Because when you You don't know, especially men, not girls so much, where it's splashed or whatever. And that's the reason, again, like people say, for Nangiyan Latta, the reason for that is basically when you sit on tabbiya for blokes, not bibiyan, yeah, is you're supposed to actually wash from your knee down before you go on the tabbiya. That's the reason for it, yeah. So your kashera is above that, but then your kashera is also covered by your chola. So you shouldn't really be wearing a jungi chola either when you go on tabbiya, because like you're going to touch your kashera, and your kashera has never seen a sucha. It doesn't matter even if you washed it, yeah. So your chola should cover your kashera. So your kashera is still covered both angles from your chola anyway. So there's nothing to touch, And then ideally, when you sit on tabbiya, if you sit on tabbiya, you should then get a chadar or a towel or something to cover your legs. Very few gurukars have that in the UK as a practice, but it should be implemented. So there's no chance. So the Granthi or the Patti, if he wants to touch his feet, he can through the tauliya. He can carry on doing his little exercises, whatever he wants to do, yeah, but he's doing it through the tauliya. But it makes sure that you don't touch the floor or you don't touch your feet, even by accident. Theek ya? Wash your feet as well. Now you might think, oh, we live in the UK, I just took my shoes off, it's nothing, but if you've had socks on, you'll wash your shoes, and your feet, I don't know how many nerve endings, whatever it is, there's loads of nerve endings on your feet, so they're always giving like odour and sweat out, so it's just sadkar, level of sadkar, wash your feet, Wear hajuriya, we've said that, but for bibiyan, I don't see why they have to wear a hajuriya. I know there's a big fashion in sitting Jathebandi to say a bibi has to wear a hajuriya, but I don't see the point, because if she's wearing a chunni, then the chunni functions as a hajuriya anyway. So I don't see why she has to wear a hajuriya on top of the chunni. It just doesn't make no sense to me, sorry, because the chunni is already fulfilling that function if it's long enough and it's working. I don't see why they have to. Plus, we don't actually promote that men and women are the same. No, they're not. We recognise the difference. We do believe in equality, but we recognise the difference in the bodies and everything else. And a chunni is more appropriate on the butta to cover themselves appropriately as well. Yeah. So certain people now, they'll come in and you can't tell who the man is and who the woman is. Yeah, that's not being offensive. Yeah, but that's the way we're dressing, because we're trying to actually look the same. But Sikh is not always about the same. It's about recognising the differences as well and celebrating them as well to an extent. Anyway, sorry if I offended the feminists. But anyway, do not put your feet or legs under Maharaj's Vashai, under the Manji Sahib. So the Manji Sahib should have a separate Vashai, which is a separate chadar just for the Manji Sahib and Maharaj's Raagmala and stuff. Your feet shouldn't touch that. So Akal Takht Sahib now, what they've implemented is, what they've done behind the Manji Sahib, basically they've got a danda. So they've got a stick all the way across the Manji Sahib at the back. So the Granthi or the Patti cannot physically put his feet beyond that point. He just physically can't. Yeah. They're doing Akal Takht Sahib. Darbar Sahib, I'm not sure if they did it, but Akal Takht Sahib, I've seen it, in action. So they can't, because the Pattis, a lot of the Pattis, what they'll do is, they'll just like, when they're relaxing their legs under the manji, they'll like put their leg halfway on the vashai and stuff like that as well, That's what they do. And then some Pattis, when they get older, or even like you guys, the young guys as well, so you put your legs under the manji like this, both legs out, and do a char sahib. And when you walk around, you're like, what's going on here? Yeah? And this phone thing as well, I've just remembered, I went to a Gurdwara in Warsaw, I won't say which one, and I walked in, and Rehat Sahib, the part was going on, and I heard the Granth was reading Rehat, and I looked at him, and he's doing it Kant, so he's doing it off by heart, and I thought, badi chardi kala, ke Kant karn lag gaya, because he's not scared, because Rehat Sahib, we can always like mess up Pangati here or there, so he, in Sangat as well, so he wasn't following the Gutka Sahib, so I started doing Parkarma. Yeah, and when I got to the other side of Maharaj, he's there trying to hide his phone from me. He's doing it off the phone, and because he saw me walk in, he basically ਉਹਦਾ ਕੰਮ ਗਿਆ ਕਿ ਆ ਗਿਆ and ਮੇਰਾ ਡੰਡਾ ਚਾੜਨਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਫੋਨ ਤੇ ਕਰਨ ਲੱਗਾ ਤਾਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਕੋਲ ਲੱਗ ਪਿਆ ਹੈ. I just giggled to myself, oh, Maharaj, why man? Why do you show me this stuff? So why? So I just did my parkarma, matha teked and sat down. I was like, God man, why to me? Yeah, I didn't bother. I thought तेरा काम तो हो गया, तो डर तो गया, मैं तेनू कहना किया, रह गया. Yeah, so it's those sort of things, like we all like have a go at the Shoney committee or whatever, but where they're right, So the Akal Takht Sahib, they did an actual sandesh saying, no one in the world can use a phone to do kirtan. They've passed that as a sandesh. So we know how many kirtan bars we go to. We know what we do. Yeah, none of us clean our phones before we get them out, put them on the vajja. Yeah. Jathebandiyas across the world no one's obeyed that. Sare tawa la de Gurbachan Singh da hai, but jithe sahi a oh nahi kisi ne manni. So they've passed that in any Gurdwara you cannot get a phone out to read. Yeah? And to be fair, if the Gurdwara or the Raggis want to use an electronic device, why can't they just invest in some tablets and just use that separately instead of on Amrit Kirtan? There's no reason why they can't implement that and keep a Raagmala on that as well. There's no reason that you can't do that, Hannah, because then they're not using their phone. Because we've lost now the tradition of using Amrit Kirtan for Kirtan. And the Amrit Kirtan used to be really useful because you've got sections of shabds. So when you used to have to find a shabd, you'd then see other shabds which are related to that shabd. So the history of the 10 Das Paatshahiyyan, the Asa Diwar, and other shabds. So like the kids now, if we say to them, find the shabd in Amrit Kirtan, they'll be like, hasn't you got a search on here? 3-letter search. First letter word. Yeah? No one would know, Hannah. So technology has been very good for us, but at the same time, when the Bijli is gone and there's an atom bomb, Hannah, you got nothing. You got basically what you can remember, and if there's any Botiyan left, that's what's left, Hannah. So we have to go back to the keeping the traditions as going as well. Sit cross-legged on marriage tabbiya, Hannah. Some people have problems, so I don't know why, yeah, but generally in Gurmat, I've been told off a few times, they always say, the Granthis, that you should never ever sit on your knees. Now, I don't know why that is. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but they always say that it's bihad. I don't know why, but traditionally, they always say that. Now, I haven't got a reason for it, I'm just letting you know. So, if you get caught on the tabbiya and someone sees you and you're sitting like that, I've told you in it, that's what I'm saying to you. Yeah? But that's, sit cross-legged, Hannah, if you can, Hannah. And then when you're on a roll, really, you shouldn't be picking up your legs and stuff as well. Especially if you're trying to be ultra and wear a chola and then half your kashera showing, Hannah. Yeah? So it's like just getting into the practice of keeping your legs down. Anyway, making Degh or Parshad. The person who makes a Degh is referred to as Panj Pyare Amrit, which is basically Amrit made from 5 things. And it's seen as a swan to Amrit, actual Amrit. So if it should be made by a Sikh who's Rehat, who's not a Bajjar Krati, Hannah, if you can, Hannah. So it should be made by someone who's actually in their Rehat. Yeah? And so you use flour. I had to put chapati flour in there because I put flour, then I thought people are going to just go to the supermarket and buy some plain flour or self-raising and throw it in the Degh. It's roti flour basically, yeah? Sugar, desi kyo. Now desi kyo is that, you know, that yellow sort of in that steel dabba we get now in the UK, Hannah? Ghee, Hannah? It's written ghee, Hannah? Yeah? That's desi kyo. But what you should do is, you should, if you can, there's a way of like basically you boil it or something. I don't know how to do it yet, and they get the impurities out of it. So there's another process to it to make it purer, and they use that for the Degh. You should not use salted butter. Yeah, it should be unsalted. So if you get layer pack, there's a salted version and unsalted version. Yeah, if you make it with ghee, which is salted, the taste of it will be off. I'm telling you now, yeah. We've had people doing consistently at camps before, and we're like, what's going on with this Degh? Yeah, it's like a sweet and sour taste. Because the loon's in there with the can. We're like, what happened here? Why does this taste so funky every day? And then when it used to get cold, it used to taste worse. But when it goes cold, you're like, ah, yeah. Anyway, now to make the Degh, you have to put these ingredients, the atta, the sugar, and the ghee in equal volume. Yeah, so that means equal volume. So for example, if you're going to make some Degh, if you got a panda, so let's say we got a batta size of my hand here, you'd actually fill that batta with that much atta, that much ghee, and that much sugar. So it's not about the weight, it's about the volume. Let me be clear about that, yeah? So that's how you measure it. That's how we've done it. I don't know, weight might work as well, but that's how we do it when we make the Degh. We never take a risk of the weight. We always do it in the measurement. Yeah, weight might work as well, I don't know, but we always do it in the measurement whenever we do it, yeah? And then double amount of water, yeah, of whatever you've done there. Yeah? Now what you do is, initially you make the jani, which is sugar and water mixed together. So you put the sugar and water into a separate utensil, which should be sadablo if possible. Yeah, most people make the jani in a steel or whatever, if possible in sadablo. Yeah. What you do is you basically boil that water and sugar. Once it's got boiled and the sugar's all dissolved, then put it on a very low temperature just to keep it ticking over. Yeah. And then you add the ghee to the batta where you're going to make the Degh. So that one should be sarablo. That's got to be sarablo, yeah. So all the Gurdwara in the UK still make it out of sarablo batta, as far as I know. I've never seen anywhere we don't make it out of sarablo karai, yeah. So you put the ghee in there, then you add the atta once the ghee is melted. So once the ghee is melted, you add the atta, yeah. Once you add the atta, you start Japji Sahib the part. So this is the person making the Degh, yeah. You start Japji Sahib the part. Theoretically, if you make it right, the Japji Sahib part should finish at the point when it's fully roasted. But that obviously depends on some variables, which is how quick or slow the flame is as well, and how experienced you are. So you might finish the Japji Sahib and it still might not be cooked. So it doesn't mean once you finish the Japji Sahib it is cooked. Don't take that as a given, yeah? Because there's a lot of amateurs, yeah. Degh gets made wrong in houses all the time, yeah? Let me be clear, yeah? Our household, yeah, we know, yeah, one person famous for making it wrong every time, yeah? But anyway, I never make the Degh, let's be clear, yeah? I never make it, yeah? But anyway, you reduce, so once you put the ghee in there, you put the atta in there, and it's supposed to roast, yeah? You wait for the smell of the roasting. So once you can smell it, yeah, then you know it's roasted. Now that's just something you have to learn. You might think it's roasting when you burnt it, and it's all kala when you make it afterwards, so that's the skill, yeah? Now some of the atta that they use now in Degh in Gurdwara, they use really white atta. I don't know if it's a Canadian one, but they use really white atta, which you can't even tell if it's atta or it's like a cake when you eat it, you're like, what is this? Yeah? But you cannot put suji in the Degh, so that's become a prevalent practice as well in the UK, in Gurdwara, to make the Degh nicer. What the person who makes the Degh does is put suji in there, which is semolina, on purpose in the mix, and that makes it softer, so that gives you this sort of cake taste. That's actually wrong. You're not supposed to put anything else in this. That's not supposed to be in there at all. And the Degh isn't supposed to be made of suji anyway if you use it as a main ingredient as well. Theek ya? Now what you're supposed to do is keep stirring it at all times, yeah, until it's roasted. Once it's roasted, yeah, what you then do is get this mix of water and sugar that you've mixed before, and slowly add it to the Degh. If you put it all in at once, yeah, you're just going to get, it's going to be like an explosion, sort of like shit there everywhere, yeah. And like just steam coming out from everywhere. That's what happens, because it's like a chemical reaction, because the ghee and the atta with the water and the sugar, that's what happens. So ideally you should add it slowly. They have a donga thing that they use a lot of, but if you can, slowly add it, yeah. Now my advice really is, don't do double the amount of water, possibly do triple. Reason being, what you can do is you can slowly add the water and keep mixing the Degh, so you need two people to do it, and you can see how much water you can take. Then you don't put too much in, because sometimes what happens is when you do double, the water evaporates too much, and you actually have less left than what should have gone in. And then when you make the Degh's really sucky, yeah. If you put too much water in, it gets sloppy as well, yeah. If you don't roast it enough, then it gets sloppy and sticks to your hand as well, yeah. So there's loads of variables, yeah. So before going home and thinking, yeah, I'm the don, yeah, you need practice. Let me be clear, yeah. Anyway, that's it, yeah. Sehaj Paath. Now, if you were going to do a Sehaj Paath, this is the Maryada, yeah. So if you do a Sehaj Paath, you have to get Degh made first before you're going to start it. Chali Pauniya Anand Sahib on that Degh. So when you bring the Degh in the Hajuri, that's when you do the Chali Pauniya Anand Sahib. Let's be clear about that as well, yeah. So if you finish the Japji Sahib while you're making it, you can carry on doing Gur Mantra or Mool Mantra of the Jap, whatever you do. You should do Paath all the time and not speak over the Degh, yeah. You bring the Degh into the Hajuri, you do the Chali Pauniya Anand Sahib in the Hajuri. You don't have to do it on the mic, you can do it Gupt, yeah, but it should be done then. Some places do Share Pauniya all the time, but really for Degh it should be Chali Pauniya, yeah, even if it's Gupt, it doesn't matter, For the Sehaj Paath, you have to do the Ramdi Ardas from Maryada through, not from Sentiya or Pag at home, yeah. And then once the Granth, whoever yourself can do the Ardas for the Sehaj Paath, the Ramta, the Degh's already there, you've already done the Anand Sahib, or you do the Anand Sahib before you do the Ardas. You do Bhog to the Degh during the Ardas, take a Hukamnama, then you start the Sehaj Paath. For the start of the Sehaj Paath, you can just do Panj Pyare of Japji Sahib and stop, yeah. If you want to do the whole of the Japji Sahib, you can do that as well, but you can do it within Panj Pyare as well, yeah. Madhya Ardas, some people say there's no point doing the Madhya Ardas. Madhya Ardas is getting to the central point of Guru Granth Sahib, so halfway point. I think there's no problem with doing Madhya Ardas, and I think you should do it. It doesn't matter if you don't do it from Maharaj, even if you do it from the Pothia, if you're doing the Sehaj Paath from Pothia at home, and you can make the Degh and you just do the Ardas before you read Jai Sri Divar. So you can do the Madhya Ardas, yeah. The Bhog, starts from 1426, which is Slok Mahalla Nava, yeah? Gunu Gobind Gayo Nahi. That's where it starts, the sloks process. So if you've done a part, you read the part up to there, or Slok Mahalla Panjam, which is just before it, and then you come to the Gurdwara, or you bring Maharada Swarup, and you do the Bhog from that point to the end, including Raagmala, from there. So you don't read the sloks before actually doing the part at home. So if you've got your own Sehaj Paath and you've got Jar to do all of it, get the Bhog done from Maharada Swarup, and you can still read the sloks afterwards as well, twice. That's not a problem, Anna. But you've got to do that from Maharada Swarup, yeah? And once you do the Bhog up to Raagmala, yeah? After Raagmala is read, then you read Panj Pyare of Japji Sahib. Now that's a Taksal thing. A lot of places don't do that, yeah? So that's optional to an extent, Anna. But Taksal always read Panj Pyare afterwards, Anna. After the Raagmala as well, Anna. And then Anand Sahib. So the Anand Sahib again, you can do Gopt for the Degh, but that Anand Sahib is again for the Degh really. Now, Barsi and stuff in the UK, the Taksal sayings have stopped doing the Anand Sahib after the Akhand Paath out loud. They do it in the Degh, but the thing is, I personally don't agree with that, because the Parampara in the UK is to always do Chali Pauriya out loud. So some of the Sangha gets confused to think, did they do the part or not, the Anand Sahib? So personally, I think it's better if you do it out loud as well, the whole of the Anand Sahib, just to make sure and the people know, because it's become a lost tradition now. No? Anyway, for an Akhand Paath, yeah, these things, yeah, some people say this is Maryada, so I believe it is. And if you don't, I don't really care. You can do what you want, Anna. Yeah? So some people keep a comb or a water pitcher next to Maharaj. Now, the reason for keeping that water pitcher there is to say the Bani that's read will go into that water pitcher and that water will get converted to Amrit. So the same theory as Amrit Sar, Darbar Sahib. Yeah? And you can say, well, it's not Amrit, whatever, it's Pavitra Jal. That's up to you, Anna. As you again, the Amrit, yeah? So that's optional if you want to do it or not, Anna. Some people say it is Maryada to do it. Yeah, all the Prathan Jathbandiya do that. A coconut on top of that, it doesn't have to be red kapra. The coconut again is seen as getting blessed, so the Bani is going in there. Yeah. So that's seen as Parshad afterwards. Yeah. Now what people, I got a guy here said this, and it's quite funny as well, it's true as well though. He said, what we do is we put the comb there, yeah, put the nariyal there, and then we go and sit in the langar hall, and for 3 days eat langar, talk to our family and friends, yeah. And then at the Bhog of the part, we all run to the Kumbh and say, Amrit Sanchar mil jave. Because we know we've not listened to any of the part, but all the part, the water picture listen to it, na. On to sunya, na. Aaj to sunya nahi ka. Ut to sanu shayad phal mil jave. Yeah, but that's the level of our Sikh. So it's not to do condemn of this, because he actually believes in it, the Kathavachik. But I know people who listen to the Katha would have thought, is he pro or is he anti, na? But his whole point is we're supposed to listen to the part as well while it's going on. Yeah, so Akhand Paath now, it's very rare in the UK for the family to stay the night. They just leave the Gurdwara at night, 8, 9 o'clock, come back in the morning after having their breakfast at home and chilling out, watching some TV. So 12 hours, so 24 hours of the part is definitely missed, because you've missed the night. 48-hour part, yeah? And then Samagari is basically, it's like a Pratan thing where you get different things together and make a fragrance, Hannah. So at the Barsi that the Taksalis do, they actually make the Samagri. I don't know how it's made, Hannah. At Soho Road as well, Nishkam, they do it as well. So it's like smoking basically, but it's a nice smell. Now the Samagri is just for fragrance, that's what it's for. It's nothing else here. It's just a Pratan way of making a fragrance for the Akhand Paath. And you keep that going throughout the part, so there's a nice fragrance growing. Yeah. And your modern sprays and whatever, they all have alcohol in them and they don't last. So it's better to have the Samagri. The Jyot is lit on the Akhand Paath. Now people say, oh, it's Manamat, it's this, whatever, Hannah. Shromani Committee says Jyot, so Shromani Committee says you shouldn't do any of these things. Yeah? Including the Jyot as well, Hannah. Now the Shromani Committee who says you shouldn't do it, yeah, they've got 4 Gurdwara within their own Parkarma where they've got Jyot. Darbar Sahib's got a Jyot inside, but they put it behind the wall to hide it, but they can't take it out because the Singhs will kill them. Yeah? They've got a Jyot of Baba Deep Singh's Gurdwara on the right hand side. They got a Jyot in Baba Gurbat Singh's Gurdwara behind the Akal Takht Sahib. They got a Jyot in the new 1984 Shidi Asthan as well. So there's 4 Jyot now there. Yeah. Now the problem we have with Jyot is people go up to it and start doing this to it. Yeah. Yeah. It's like, what's the fire giving to you, man? Is it like the fire god? I didn't burn my fingers. Whoa. Yeah, that's cool, Hannah. But the thing is, look, Desi Kyo, the Jyot is supposed to be Desi Kyo. What the jyot does is it kills carbon monoxide if it's made with desi ghee. That's what it does as a function. Yeah? Now, no one else is going to say this, but I will. The jyot actually is like doing bhog to God in the atmosphere that we can't see, the invisible God, who's in the atoms and everything in that room. So, because that jyot basically goes into the atmosphere, that's what it does, that's a function of it. It kills the carbon monoxide. So, it's like doing constant bhog to a kalpurk. So, we do bhog to food and stuff with the kirpan physically, but the jyot is doing it in the atmosphere. ठीक है? So, the jyot, again, people have a go at this, and you know, and modern day pracharaks, oh, jyot da sara dhyan hunda jyot te rehanda ki jyot bujh na jave in the Akhand Paath, hai na? Now, if we say it doesn't matter if the jyot goes out or don't keep a jyot, yeah, you know what's going to happen? Our families ain't even going to go into the diwan. If the jyot's on and they're keeping their concentrate to make sure that the jyot stays on, jande te hai andar. So when we do khandan of these things and say, oh, what's the point, yeah? Actually, it's a good thing because it makes sure that the family keeps going in. Because if they get superstitious about going out, yeah, it makes sure that they go in there and keep an eye on it. Now, you might say, well, what's the point of the jyot? Well, what if your electricity goes? What are you going to do then? There's no light. How's a batti going to do the part? You have to keep batteries and everything else there. But the Pratana Wet is there for a reason. Maharaj did these things because they know there's going to be times when we can't do stuff. So what we're going to do is we're not going to have to make a jyot. But in Loni Adi, we're not going to do with desi ghee. If you use other oils or other burners, they actually stain the thingy and they make a foul smell. Yeah. So these Pratan things were there for a reason. Yeah. But we're too smart now because we think we can modernize Sikhi, but you can't because Guru Sahib made it perfect. But anyway, the Akhand Party should be Amritari and be able to read correctly. Yeah. I actually hate the fact that I've had Santhya. And I actually hate the fact that I know a lot of Bani. Because I can't go into hardly any Diwan now or any Akhand Paath without hearing the party doing a mistake. So it makes it torturous for me to walk in. Because like there's so much. It's not about like this is a Taksal part or this is a missionary part and this is difference in Santhya. It's actually reading the Akkar wrong. So missing the Kanne, missing words or making up different words. It's so bad, yeah, the amount of parties now which you can't actually read. Yeah. And it gets to the extent where the Gurdwara do Akhand Paaths and they want Nishkam parties who are doing it for free. But the Nishkam parties, and even the parties nowadays, they haven't had Santhya anyway. They can't read right. Yeah? So, I'm being Amritari because this is for an Akhand Paath, and Akhand Paath is supposed to be something special. I know we do them every week, but in the UK, can we hand on heart say, there's one Akhand Paath we know which was done properly? Yeah? The Akhand Paath was something very special. People would come from far off to listen to the part. But the parties have to be good. They have to have some kamai for each one to listen to it. Yeah? So the Akhand Paath was something really special, not just something done, Hana. And they should be Amritari because they're the ones keeping the Rehat. Yeah? So they're Guru Sahib's sort of confidants, Hana. Not anyone. So some God that are in the UK, they do Akhand Paaths and stuff, Mourning, do Rola and everything else. Yeah? Anyway, Japji Sahib with the Akhand Paath. Some people say it's not needed. Yeah? But I don't think he's saying did an exorcism of a ghost with the Japji Sahib. Khan Kirtan Jatha in India with Delhi Smagam, they do an Akhand Paath with Japji Sahib all the time. All the Pratan Jathabandi believe in Japji Sahib. The reason you do the Japji Sahib with the Akhand Paath is because Akhand Paath can never be Akhand. You cannot read it continuously. The party is going to breathe. The party might make a mistake. Might be other things. So you do the Japji Sahib Akhand Paath alongside it for Mafia while you're doing the part because it's not Akhand. ठीक है? But then again, the Japji Sahib party should be again Amritari and Rehatwan. So in the UK, we'll get anyone to do the Japji Sahib because it's usually like £51 bit or whatever, Hannah. But it's a good thing also to start the practice of Japji Sahibs anyway because it gets the kids and other people actually sitting on Rola and getting into the practice of sitting there for 2 hours and stuff. ठीक है? SGPC is against all of the above in terms of the Jyot and all that stuff and Japji Sahib as well. So they don't believe you should do Japji Sahib with the Akhand Paaths. So if you go to Patna Sahib and Hajur Sahib, they will do Japji Sahib with the Akhand Paaths as a fixed thing, Hannah. Now, you might think, well, if we do 2 Akhand Paaths together, should we do 2 Japji Sahibs? The Sants I go to, they do, if you got 5 Akhand Paaths, do 5 Japji Sahibs with it. The Taksal and other people still just do 1, even if it's multiple parts, yeah. But I think it's better if you do extra ones, if you're doing extra parts, so it just should be done, Anna. But that's up to you. Degh for the bhog of the Akhand Paath should be brought into the Diwan before the sloks start. Yeah? It shouldn't be brought in because that's when the sloks, that's the bhog starting, Anna. So the Degh should be brought in. And the Degh as well, very important, yeah? You should cool it down before you bring it into Maharaj's Hajuri. If we're believing Guru Sahib is eating that Degh, so we say bhog lavo, Yeah, this is the ardas, yeah. Bhog lao means you actually eating it, Maharaj. That's what it means, yeah. And if we're putting Degh there, which is burning, and our hands can't even touch it, how's Maharaj at that? Or has Maharaj burnt their tongue? It's down to our own bhavana. So some people say you shouldn't say Bhog lona, even though Gurbani says it. They say you should say Parvan karo, which means accept it. So Guru Sahib not eating, we don't believe that they're Partak and Hajar and Najar, we believe that they're accepting it. Yeah? But that's down to yourselves, Anna. But anyway, the Bhog, yeah, so the Degh should be there before the Bhog. And the Degh, when you do the Ardas, the Kirpan is burnt when the party size, when the Ardasya size ke Bhog lao. Yeah? And then, in terms of so the person puts the Kirpan in when they say to put it in, Anna. They take the Kirpan, Bhog lag gaya, basically, through the Kirpan. That Kirpan took Panj Pyare's heads. Yeah, so that's why we do Bhog with it. Okay? And then, so that's been accepted then. You can say accepted, eaten, whatever, Hana. And then the Hukamnama is taken. After the Hukamnama, you take Panj Shanda for the Panj Pyare and 1 Shand for the Granth Singh. So the Shand that they take out and they're putting behind Maharaj isn't for Maharaj. Let me be very clear. People think, hey, Maharaj di de gaya. Maharaj ne the Bhog la liya, Kirpan jad paiya. That Degh is for the Granthi Singh, because the Granthi is Satkar Yog, and as a minimum, the Guru ka Vajir should get Degh. It doesn't matter if it runs out in the Sangat, but the one person who should get it in that whole place is the Bhratti, because without him, you wouldn't have had your program, you wouldn't have had no part of Gurbani read to you. Yeah, so that Degh is for the Granthi, it's not for Maharaj. Theek ya? So the Panj Shand, and the Granthis they usually give first. Yeah, the Panj Shand, then if there's Panjamurtaris in the Sangat, then you should give it to the Panjamurtaris as the Panj Pyare, representing them. And then, like I said last week, when you take it out initially, you say the Panj Pyare's names as well. You can just put a chadar over it and rely, or you can give it out. If possible, give it out in the Sangatana. So that's been Bhog in physical form as well, the Panj Pyare in front of you, Hana. If not, you just put another Degh and then you can give it out. And it should be cooled down. So what happens is if you get Degh in the Diwan, which is too hot, and you see it's too hot, what you can do is take out a bit of the Degh, put it into a separate banda and cool it down, and then do Bhog to that in the separate banda, and then allow that into the main Degh afterwards. So we do that a lot in Gurdwara programs as well, just in case as well, to make sure that it's not too hot. Theek ya? And Japji Sahib is then read after the Raagmala, after the on the Akhand Paath, to finish the Akhand Paath of the Japji Sahib. So what the party on the Japji Sahib has to do, when they start the Japji Sahib after the Raagmala, the party either has to slow down their Japji Sahib or speed it up and rely with that Japji Sahib Bhog one. Yeah, so they both finish at the same time then. Yeah, so you need a Siana party there, not someone who just carries on reading and doesn't know what's going on. Yeah, that does happen as well. Yeah, and then an Anand Sahib and then an Ardas. Raagmala is Gurbani. Yeah, don't get me started on this. Yeah, people have done these challenges and whatever, Hana, going in Karahi, Tail and whatever. Yeah, and no one really wants to stand up. Hana, everyone can give the challenge, but no one really wants to do it. Hana. But anyway, last angle Guru Granth Sahib Ji, you cannot print a sroop without Raagmala or write a sroop without Raagmala, and if you do, you will get kicked out of the com. It is not allowed categorically. Theek ya? SGPC in their Rehat Maryada, in their high opinion, Hana, they said, oh, you can read it or you don't have to read it, it's up to you. So it's optional. So that's what they've written here. So that's why saying Jathabandya promote the SGPC Rehat Maryada, but then they don't follow it. But they promote it because of this one point, because they want to use that one point to say it's optional to read it or not. Yeah. Although SGPC read it all they got there. So they used to say in the past, oh, Akal Takht Sahib nahi padhte Raagmala. Akal Takht Sahib kyun nahi padhte? Yeah. So the guy who's on the internet saying a member of AKJ killed Narankariya, yeah, Gurbachana by Ranjit Singh, Sabka Singh Sahib, yeah, he started the reading of Raagmala at Akal Takht Sahib when they reopened the Akal Takht Sahib by Ranjit Singh does the Akal Takht Jathedar. So now they read the Raagmala with every Akhand Paath Akal Takht Sahib. So there was a period when they never read it there. So during Sanjana Singh's time they didn't read it at the Akal Takht Sahib. But by Ranjit Singh, with Baba Thakur Singh, they implemented it to start reading it again, and it's been read now for the last, I think it was 97 they did the other carton, so 20 years. Yeah, they've been reading it. Theek ya? So there's no Gurdwara that I know of in the SGPC where they don't read the Raagmala as well, even though they're saying it's optional. And even Jathabandiyam, which believe you can't read Raagmala, you shouldn't read Raagmala, every week in their own Gurdwara they read Raagmala because they know no one's going to book Akhand Paath there. So they might do one Akhand Paath in the year where they don't read it, but all the other parts that they do got Raagmala in them. Anyway, Those who don't believe Raagmala are mistaken. It is Gurbani. There's no two doubts about it, yeah? So some of the arguments they give, oh, there's no author written at the start of Raagmala. There's no author written at the start of Japji Sahib. So if the Granth starts without Slok Mahalla Pehla, why should it finish with Slok Mahalla Pehla or anything? Yeah? So Raagmala's got no author. Japji Sahib hasn't either. Yeah? Then they say, oh, Nanak Pankti doesn't come in it. Sat Pauri and Japji Sahib Nanak nahi aata. Wo kadh nahi hai. There's other shabds in Guru Granth Sahib Nanak doesn't come as well. Yeah? I've written a whole article on this, yeah, but so we can carry on with this for days. But anyway, the main point is Kartarpur Dibir, which is the original Sroop that Bhai Gurdas Ji wrote with Guru Arjan Dev Ji, which I shared on the internet a few days ago. The Raagmala is in that Sroop, the first ever Maryada Sroop, in the same ink, in the same handwriting, on the same paper. Yeah, there's no extra shabds, there's no extra anything. Raagmala is in that Sroop, so that's the first Sroop. We have other many handwritten Sroops by Bhai Mani Singh. So the second person who scribed Guru Granth Sahib, Guru Gobind Singh, yeah, which have got Raagmala, again the same ink, same everything, and Baba Deep Singh as well. They've all got Raagmala in them. Yeah, so they're mistaken, those people who believe Raagmala isn't Gurbani. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for listening. Any questions? Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.